So today, we're gonna grab some canned salmon. You know, like I've told you in the past, one of the best ingredients available to us because it's heart healthy and affordable. We're gonna create an extraordinary recipe. We're talking salmon meatballs with potatoes. Now the beauty of this recipe, besides the fact that it's very easy to make and made with the most basic ingredients, is that it comes together in about 40 minutes, yet the flavors feel like they've been simmering for hours. Folks, serve this dish next to a garden salad, a crunchy baguette, and of course a bottle of Spanish wine. You're gonna have yourself a fabulous meal. All right, let's just dive right into this. I'm gonna drain 2 cans of salmon into a fine sieve with a bowl underneath. The size of the cans that I'm using are 6 ounces, which is 170 grams each. Then we'll gently flake the salmon and transfer it into a large bowl. Then we'll add in a 1/4 cup of plain breadcrumbs over the salmon, which is 30 grams. Crack in 2 large eggs. A 1/4 cup of finely chopped onion, which is 40 grams. Finely grate in 1 small carrot that's been peeled. Finely grate in 1 clove of garlic. 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh parsley, which is 8 grams. And half a teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 1.25 grams. Then we'll season with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a mix until everything's well mixed together. As always, the Spanish paprika I'm using is from Kiva. Link where you can get some in the description box below. And if you buy it from that link, you also get 25% off your order. Once everything is well mixed, we'll mash down on the mixture until we end up with a paste-like texture. This is to ensure all the ingredients are well binded. That way once we cook the meatballs, they don't break apart. To shape the meatballs, we'll grab a spoonful of the mixture and squeeze it in our hands. Once again, this is to ensure everything's well binded. And then we'll shape it into a ball about the size of a golf ball. And we'll continue to do this until all the meatballs have been assembled. And if you see your mixture is too wet to work with, add in some more breadcrumbs, and vice versa if it's too dry, add in some whisked egg. Once all the salmon meatballs have been assembled, let's start cooking them up. I'm going to heat a large fry pan with a medium heat and add in a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, which is 60 milliliters. Important to use the good stuff here. This is what truly flavors the entire dish. Link where you can get the Spanish one that I'm using in the description box below. After a couple minutes, we'll start adding in the salmon meatballs. And you want to make sure they're on a single layer and evenly spaced out. And we're going to cook the meatballs between 8 to 10 minutes or until they're golden fried all around. In the meantime, let's start getting our potatoes ready. I'm going to cut 1.5 pounds of potatoes, which is 700 grams. They've already been washed and patted dry. Each potato into small bite-sized pieces. For this recipe, I'm using baby Yukon Golds, but you can use whatever potatoes you like. Though I do recommend using potatoes that are a bit more waxy than starchy, as they hold their shape better when they're being boiled. And as you can see, I'm leaving the skins on the potato, as it adds more nutrients and flavors, but if you like, you can peel the potatoes. Then we'll add the chopped potatoes into a stock pot, and you want to make sure they're in a flat layer. And fill it with some water, just enough to barely cover the potatoes. Then we'll season generously with sea salt and heat it with a high heat. While the potatoes are cooking, let's move back to the salmon meatballs. After 8 to 10 minutes and they're golden fried all around, we'll remove them from the pan and set them aside. Now using the same pan with the same heat, let's make a very simple sauce that takes this dish to the next level. I'm going to add in 1 small onion that I finely chopped and 4 cloves of garlic that I roughly chopped. And we'll mix the ingredients around continuously, that way they evenly saute. After 2 to 3 minutes and the onion is nice and translucent, I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, which is about 8 grams. And we'll continue to mix this and go for about 1 to 2 minutes here. This is enough time to cook off the raw flavor in the flour, that way it doesn't overpower the sauce. After cooking the flour for about 2 minutes, I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of white wine vinegar, which is 15 milliliters, along with half a teaspoon of dried thyme, which is half a gram, and a kiss of sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a mix until it's well mixed together. Once everything is well mixed, I'm going to slowly add in 1.5 cups of vegetable broth, which is 360 milliliters, while mixing it continuously. You can also use chicken broth here, or even beef broth if you like. Either way, link on how to make my homemade veggie broth in the description box below. Once all the broth has been added and we've ended up with a slightly creamy sauce, we'll add in the salmon meatballs back into the pan. And once again, make sure they're in a single layer and evenly spaced out. And then we'll gently flip each meatball, that way they're fully coated in all that goodness. And we'll lower the fire to a low-medium heat. While the meatballs are simmering, let's move back to the potatoes. After 15 to 20 minutes, they should be perfectly cooked through. You can always pierce them with a toothpick just to ensure that they're done. At this point, I'm going to drain the potatoes into a colander and let's start plating our dish. I'm going to start by adding some of the potatoes into a serving plate. Then we'll grab our simmering salmon meatballs and add some next to the potatoes. And we'll top it off with some of the sauce. And for the final touch, we'll sprinkle it with some chopped fresh parsley. Check it out, salmon meatballs with potatoes, restaurant quality presentation, the simplest ingredients, and all done in about 40 minutes. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. Seriously folks, hard to believe we grabbed some canned salmon and a couple other basic ingredients and we got something that looks this delicious. Here we go. That was a big bite. Check that out. That right there is food that fills you with so much goodness. Such an exciting dish. The meatballs did not fall apart. So many great flavors inside. The potatoes just melt in your mouth, and that very simple sauce rounds it up for the perfect balance of goodness. Give it a try at home. Once again, next to a garden salad, a crunchy baguette, and a bottle of Spanish wine, you're gonna have yourself a fabulous meal. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Martin Giddings, Aravinda Garimea, Robert Manahan, and Hollis Helmichi. And guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. Enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. Leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon. That way you can get notified every time I release new content and to become a part of the Spain on a Fork family. Till the next time, hasta luego.